Congratulations, you've just gone under contract on your brand new construction home here in Austin, Texas, or the surrounding areas. Now, because this escrow period will look different to one with a resale home and closing, it is really important to go over what to expect between now and the closing date and what you can prepare for to just help you save stress, time, money, energy, and effort. And most importantly, this video is going to go over a couple critical things that you should be doing during this escrow period and a handful of very important things that you should absolutely avoid doing between now and closing. Hi, my name is Bridget Schlegel. I am your Austin, Texas real estate agent. If you're watching this video, either you are one of my clients who have just gone under contract on a new construction home, or perhaps you've just found this video through YouTube. If you're just in the exploratory phase, but you're considering purchasing a new construction home, you can always book a private consultation with me. There's a link down in the description below, and we'll get together to map out exactly what your needs are and how we can get started finding the perfect new construction property for you. So of course, if you're building a new home from scratch, this closing timeline is going to be a lot more extended than a resale home. Every builder's contract is going to look slightly different. So these exact timelines and processes and builder expectations will vary, but I will help you navigate each step and make sure that we're staying on track with your particular builder. Even though with a new construction home, you most likely don't have an option period built into the contract, you do still have ample opportunity to do due diligence throughout the construction of your home, and this is in the form of 3 different phased inspections. And one quick note, if you happen to buy a inventory home rather than a new construction home, everything else in this video will still completely apply to you during this escrow period. However, just ignore the part about the different phases of inspections, because for you, you will only be doing the phase 3 general inspection on your inventory home because it is a move-in ready property and doesn't need to be built from the ground up. Phase 1 is the pre-foundation pour inspection. Phase 2 is the pre-sheetrock phase inspection, where they're looking at everything behind the walls, plumbing, electrical, and such. And then phase 3 is your general inspection before you end up moving into the home, and this will test all systems as a whole. And there's a couple add-ons like sewer scope or termite inspection or sprinkler inspection that you can add on at this stage. I will make sure to help you understand when these phases are approaching, and if you would like to opt into doing these inspections, I will help get that set up with my transaction coordinator as well. Each time we'll meet on site, review the report with the inspector, and bring up anything that is of concern with the builder so that they can handle it before moving on to the next building phase. Now, aside from the inspections, which I will help to schedule and get them on the calendar, the builder may also have numerous meetings for us to attend throughout the building process to gather updates or hear what's coming next, particularly when it comes to choosing your design selections. I've had some builders have us select all of the design selections up front before you've even signed that contract, and other times we're going through the design selections after the contract. For this aspect, we will lean on the particular builder sales rep to help get those scheduled and let us know when they're available. If for whatever reason you can't make it to one of the scheduled meetings or inspections, I'm more than happy to be there on your behalf. I'm already planning on attending all of those meetings, whether it's online or in person, regardless, so I can also just be your boots on the ground if needed. Also, with my transaction coordinator helping on all of my active files, we typically are able to put out a weekly update for you as well, because we're doing our own individual checks, touching base with the builder, the lender, and the title company on a regular basis. Now let's address what you should not be doing now that you've got this home under contract. Number 1, stop making any large purchases that are financed. For example, please do not show up at closing with a brand new car. Avoid financing furniture, ordering big furniture to arrive at the house before closing, or opening or closing credit card accounts. All of these things will affect your credit score, your debt to income ratio, and ultimately could put an entire halt to your loan approval. Also, during this time, it's good to avoid changing your job or income structure, especially without notifying your lender first. Sometimes there are rare cases where we have to go through a job change, but make sure that you're talking with the lender about this, because if there is a change, for example, between W-2 income to a 1099, that could really throw a wrench in things as well. It's better to make sure that the lender is fully aware of your income situation with full transparency from the beginning of working with them before we even get this home under contract, right? It's good not to assume that your loan approval has been locked in just because you've got that pre-qualification letter. Your financing is going to be continuously reviewed throughout this escrow period, and it's really important that it remains consistent every time the lender actually looks through it. Also, I will say, do not get married during this time. Unless you have already consulted with an attorney or done additional due diligence on the consequences of choosing to marry before purchasing that property versus after. Texas just is a community property state, so whether you are a married couple or an individual purchasing the property, there are legal impacts to that timeline. Also, getting married can definitely affect the loan as well, because a married couple may also need to have both names on the mortgage, or perhaps will be required to have both names on the title of the property. And really, it's just good to be aware that it could affect your loan approval and the processing of the underwriting aspect. So with any big major life decisions like that, while you are under contract, just give me a heads up and we will probably be able to give you a solution. But it really helps to have full transparency on your intentions. Now, what are some things that you should be doing during this time? Number one, I kind of hinted to it already, but your lender is going to consistently be reaching out to you and verifying your information on a regular basis. So it's really important that you answer their questions promptly, get documents to them quickly, and essentially just stay responsive to make sure that the lender and the loan approval is moving along as it needs to be. Also, if you happen to be moving large sums of money around between your own accounts, or perhaps receiving a gift fund amount from family or friends, make sure that that is well documented. Your lender will need to see where the money is coming from and why. And sometimes it's even just a good practice to talk to your lender first before making big transfers. That way they can advise you on how to do it the right way. The next aspect would be to keep paying your regular monthly bills, rent payments, utility, mortgage, whatever it is that is your regular responsibilities. Make sure that you don't have any new late payments during this time. That could also affect your loan approval. Same with job, I mentioned that as well, but make sure that your income is staying stable because your lender is basing things off of consistency. And if you want to check on the progress, you and I can get together and make a plan to regularly visit the site as well and just see how the build is going through all the different phases. If you are ever slightly unsure whether or not something may affect your financing or loan approval, reach out to me before making any major changes. That communication is the biggest way I can help save you time, money, and stress. Building a home from scratch or purchasing a new construction property is super, super exciting. So I cannot wait for you guys to set foot in your new property very soon. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I put out a lot of more other Austin-based content, not just these educational videos. And if you're looking at purchasing a new construction home here in Austin, Texas at some point and want a professional, steady realtor, give me a call or book one down below. I love to get things started with you, whether or not your journey is 6 to 12 months out. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.